So what I've got a couple tools here in the shop. I've got this jigsaw. I've got this big bandsaw, but you know, any size bandsaw should work. And I've got a couple of sanders here, which I'll be using for rounding off the corners and getting in the spaces. So with the bandsaw, I normally just do these long cuts with the bandsaw, and everything else will be jigsaw. So here we go. This whole thing is rocking like crazy. You might want to go back with your eraser and erase the lines you're not cutting. So I'm cutting with the jigsaw. We normally have Riley hold it down while I cut, but we also have these nice clamps for when you have to work with one person. And we just clamp it to the table. C-clamps also work. Yeah, any type of clamp should work. I'm not going to move too much. This is a bit of an aggressive jigsaw, but it should work all the same. So now all we gotta do is the finish sanding to rough up, or to even out all the roughed up edges from the sheen. Take off all this stuff here. That's because our blade was too coarse. So if that's happening, you can just use a finer blade on your jigsaw. But we don't have one, and we don't feel like changing it, so. I cut this so badly on the bandsaw, I had to take off a lot more material. So it's a good bit, but I'm just trying to rush it for this video. So, this is a demonstration. Don't judge. No haters. I think we can get this with this actually. So I'm just modifying the shape by eye, and I'm using the center line to help me make sure it's symmetrical. Okay. This sandpaper's pretty bad. There we go. Alright, that's good enough for me. Normally we go through and we finish off with an orbital sander, which are over here. Now the orbital sander is what I use to take off all these burrs. And it keeps the, if you bend the edge a little bit like that, it keeps it from splintering and splitting and stuff like that. It makes it a whole lot safer to handle. All right, so it's all sanded and it's ready to have the truck holes mounted on it. So let's get going on that. So now we get the chance to totally fine tune, see if we want to move these at all, check what our wheelbase is going to be for the last time. So we're looking like we're going to have about 31-inch wheelbase. Look at that, just like we said. And yeah, so we actually have made a template here, and this has got the truck mount holes on it, and it's parallel with this edge.
New school.
Yeah, new school. So we can use this as a straight edge and make sure that this is lined up straight on the along the whole length, and that's how we get it on straight. But not everyone's going to have one of these. So what you can actually do is, I mean, the easiest thing to do is just to use your trucks you're going to put on there, and then to just use a T-square. These things are nice. And then what you can do is, as long as this long edge is lined up straight, this short edge will be lined up straight. So you're able to, first you got to make sure it's centered on there. So let's just assume that's centered for the case of it, and we can just make sure, okay, this side here, it's 1.5 inches away from the center here. So then we just move this end, so it's also 1.5 inches away, and then snug it up, and then we can use the holes in the truck to mount the where we need to drill on here. So yeah, using your trucks is the easiest way, and a big T-square is the easiest way to get a template. Just use your trucks as a template. So we're going to use this because we have it. So I've marked off the center of our straight edge here, and so it's lined up with the center of our board, and it's flushed up with our truck mount square here. So all I got to do is I've got to clamp it down. So I'm going to clamp down the let's see. There we go. Clamp it to the board, and then I'm going to clamp it all down to the table. That's not. There we go. That works. And then, not with my hands underneath, I'm going to be drilling out these holes.
Trying to keep your drill straight up and down,
yes,
and always drill from the bottom.
Yeah, always drill from the bottom side, because if you drill crooked, I'll show you what happens. So let's say I'm drilling my holes here. So say they're supposed to be, let's say they're supposed to be 2 inches apart. So there's one hole there, there's one hole there. So let's say this is the bottom, okay? And it lines up with our trucks here.
Perfectly. It lines up perfectly with the trucks.
So, and I'm drilling kind of crooked. So it's still lined up on this side, but on this side, that's 2¼ inches.
It's definitely not going to mount to anything.
It's not going to mount to anything. It's going to be super crooked. So always drill from the bottom. So yeah. So I'm drilling from the bottom. I'm trying to keep it level, but at the same time, as long as you're drilling from the bottom, it really won't matter too much. I'm really good at drilling straight because I do this all the time. So I almost forgot to mention it. Riley, however, is always screwing it up, so he remembered to tell me. There we go. Now the truck's drilled, it's cut out, and it's ready for grip and to be finished on the bottom. So you can do graphics, you can paint it, you can use Sharpie, you can, you know, draw some fire-breathing dragons with a S and a more different S, and with as many muscles as you can come up with for dragons. There we go. This is an awesome skateboard. So let's go. Let's go ride it or something. Put some trucks on it.
Woo! Yeah! We got ourselves a longboard.
All right, and just because of Napoleon Dynamite, I'm also gonna put a nice liger on here. Ready? Let's see. There's her nose and her eyes are all weird. Oh, it's gonna. Okay. Just a square jaw. If I ever saw one. She's got all sorts of nice hair going on. Ha! There we go. We have frog door and a liger. This is officially the sweetest board ever.
Hooah!